was born at the Northern Water Tribe in 345 BG. The sages of the tribe determined that Kuruk was the Avatar through their nation's traditional procedure, and when the time came, they revealed this to Kuruk. He was given a glowing crystal by the sages, and was astonished when he successfully managed to earthbend and raise the crystal in the air. His announcement as the Avatar was celebrated with a great feast in ATLA, attended by dignitaries from the Earth Kingdom and the Fire Nation. Not much is known about Kuruk. He is the short-lived Avatar. But let's go over what we do know. This is Avatar Discussions, going over the history of Avatar Kuruk. Let's start with what we know at Kuruk meeting Kesecker. Kesecker would teach Kuruk about the spirit world and all the spirits that roamed in it. When Kesecker admitted that he had mistakenly entered the spirit world, Kuruk decided to lead him there. In Yaoping, they went to a meadow where Yangchen had honed her use of the Avatar state and successfully crossed over to the spirit world. The Heartwalker of Yaoping met Kuruk when he found himself in a swampy location. He was lifted into the air by the spirit's long tail, and their bodies collided. Kuruk saw Yaoping Town reflected in the spirit world just before he passed out, and he inferred that the Heartwalker was attempting to attack the town. Kuruk awoke and took Kesecker's glider, rushing to the salt mines in the neighboring mountain that gave the observer the same view of Yaoping as could be seen in the spirit world. He found the spirit and began to fight, bringing the Heartwalker down with a torrent of all four elements. Kuruk was discovered by his companions the following day, crawling through Yaoping and frothing at the mouth. He had lost some of his own vitality to the spirit's defeat. He made an effort to describe the experience to his friends, but was unable to do so. So he decided to make up a story about a mischievous ghost instead. Kuruk's physique was found to be in perfect condition, but despite this, he had developed a severe sadness. In spite of the doctor's orders, a maid handed him distilled wine, which started to cut through his chill and dull the discomfort. Kuruk chose to sleep with the maid after she grinned at him, because he was so anxious to feel something. Hairan lost a lot of respect for Kuruk when his friends subsequently learned about the two, while Zhanzhu and Kesecker showed no judgment. Kuruk's adventures with his friends continued until a second spirit attack came. Kuruk chose to face the matter alone, not wishing his friends to fall into the same depression that he had after battling the spirit. A bad dream while visiting the Fire Nation showed him a rift in a cenote supplying water to Mainka Island. Kuruk swam down until he found the phoenix eel spirits, stabbing them with stone and ice. When he came to the surface, he began to cry and was found by Nyahitha of the Bonti. The man explained that after receiving a premonition, the tribe had sent him to aid the Avatar. Kuruk was taken to a jungle campground where Nyahitha used firebending to map out his energy lines. The Bonti man acknowledged that slaying evil spirits was harming his own spirit, and that despite his best efforts to repair the damage, Kuruk would not live the longest of all avatars, because each conflict would wear him down. He chuckled and coughed up blood all over the man's body as he said Nyahitha would make a lousy doctor. Kuruk then made the decision to keep his fellow companions in the dark, and watch as they faced danger and misery because of the damage to his body. Kuruk and Nyahitha discovered that the spirits were attempting to pierce recently formed gaps in the wall, separating the spirit and human worlds, by going to the Bonti's secret library. Kuruk scoured the spirit world as additional assaults arrived, using his own hunting prowess to find evil spirits. He attempted to appease each angry dark spirit he encountered at the expense of his own soul, but he was compelled to put an end to the murdering spirits. Kuruk and Nyahitha kept their actions a secret from everyone. As the world went on, Kuruk began to sleep through meetings and drank more wine to dull his lingering pain, trusting that Zhanzhu would work things out with the diplomats and the officials. He spent his nights carousing, trying to feel as human as possible, a pursuit in which Nyahitha joined him. The hedonism was not a cure for the strain on his soul, but he still pursued it, and believed it to be a sign of his own weakness. As a result, Kuruk seemingly became a go-with-the-flow type of avatar as the world's tranquility allowed him to step back from his responsibilities as the Avatar, and let the four nations resolve their own conflicts. Zhanzhu later mused that Kuruk had always been late to events and seemingly took few things very seriously. When he was not forced to fight dark spirits, Kuruk spent much of his days searching both the physical and the spirit world for worthy opponents to challenge in bending contests, usually for no reason other than entertainment and pleasure, to try to feel more human. Kuruk liked to show off his bending abilities to others, especially beautiful women, in grand displays. Kuruk airbent tornadoes filled with lotus flowers for young air nomad nuns, would challenge random Fire Nation citizens to Agni Kais, and engaged in boulder lifting contests with earthbenders. His strength in sparring matches was considered legendary, and no bender was ever able to trump his abilities. He also had many, but usually brief, relationships with numerous women, earning a reputation as a heartbreaker. Nevertheless, he never got over his lost relationship with Hairan. Kuruk's group started to disband after a number of adventures, and the buddies broke apart in 316 BG. The Avatar's mental health continued to deteriorate amid stress and loneliness, so he resumed his trips and spent more time with Nyahitha. The passage of time was hazy, but soon Kuruk got a letter from Janju, chastising the Avatar for skipping high nuptials. Ran's Kuruk was then completely overcome by grief over his lost love and rage over his own perceived failings. The next time Kuruk faced an evil spirit, his repressed wrath prompted him to destroy the creature with the full power of the Avatar state. Realizing this, he felt even more ashamed at having seemingly misused his powers. Overcome with grief, Kuruk crafted a love poem for Hairan, finally confessing his feelings for her. It was a desperate cry for help, an attempt to return to his youth when the future was still full of hope, and when he had a chance at a relationship with Hairan. On the next day, Kuruk unexpectedly turned up at Kelseng's home, seeking his friend's advice on the poem. As he did not understand his friend's pain, the air nomad was horrified, thinking that the verses threatened Hairan's newly found happiness. Kelseng consequently forced the Avatar to destroy the love poem. Kuruk channeled his despair at research with Nyahitha, eventually concluding that the cracks in reality were being created by a single spirit. He focused on finding the origin, until he finally encountered Father Glowworm. Kuruk made the mistake of trading names with the spirit when he encountered it, cementing a curse on the Avatar and anyone else who learned of the malevolent spirit. Their fight nearly created a hole in the reality between realms. Father Glowworm was stronger than the other spirits, but Kuruk was too stubborn to lose. Kuruk managed to grievously wound Father Glowworm, but the spirit managed to escape. Although he did enough lasting damage to ensure that the spirit would do no more damage for a generation, he had been marked in return, and neither would fully heal from the encounter. Kuruk continued to lead a hedonistic lifestyle up to the day he found his true love, never having the faintest intention of getting married. He met Umi, a member of the Southern Water Tribe, at the New Moon celebration, a joyous gathering of the two water tribes. Soon after meeting her, Kuruk proposed to Umi with the traditional betrothal necklace, which she accepted. Kuruk had fallen in love with her at first sight. The Spirit Oasis was the location that the couple chose for their wedding. On the night of their wedding, however, Umi was lured into the oasis as they were walking towards the altar. Then Ko the Face Stealer had forced her to travel to the spirit world in order to exact revenge on Kuruk for his previous haughtiness. Kuruk attempted to rescue Umi by entering the spirit world on their wedding anniversary every year, but he was always unsuccessful. Ko became enraged with the Avatar as a result of his attempts. Aged just 33, Kuruk passed away in 312 BG. He gathered his closest friends close to him as he lay dying, pleading with them to locate the next Avatar and do right by them. What a sad ending Kuruk had, but it laid the foundation for the relationship with the spirits for Avatars to come. Any suggestions for other history videos? Let us know below in the comments. And until next time, stay flamin'!